There's a story which is trending online. There's a Nigerian who threw himself from seventh floor. He died seventh floor of a building. Now this is what is happening to some of the foreigners in Kenya. Now this is Nick Imudia, who was working in Nairobi. He's a Nigerian and he has been doing well professionally, and he was the CEO and among the shareholders of Delight, a company that is based in Kenya, and it was worth more than 1 billion Kenyan shillings. And 1 billion Kenyan shillings, that's more than almost 1 million, $110 million. Now, what happened? For those ones who don't know the story, Nick is married, he has a wife, and he has children. Now, in the office, he spotted a woman who was his PA, personal assistant. They started a relationship. Now, the relationship was perfect until the lady became pregnant. And after becoming pregnant, this lady knew that Nick Imodia was married and he had a stable family. So she went ahead and started blackmailing him. First, she asked for 8 million Kenyan shillings so that she cannot tell the wife, so that she can take care of that pregnancy and child without bothering him. But the request did not end there. They kept coming. She collaborated with the lawyers and other ladies. This man was pushed until she found no peace or need of living. And that's how she ended up ending his life. Now, Kenyans are actually angry. They're bitter and they're wondering, why should a man end his life because of such a small issue? They forget this is a foreigner. This is not a Kenyan. A foreigner who doesn't know how Kenya works. You know, for foreigners who are coming to date or marry Kenyan women, not all women are bad, but there are several of them who have bad intentions. These women, when you meet them, they look genuine, very humble, and wife material. But some of them have got hidden agenda. If you don't choose carefully, you'll end up with the same fate that Nick ended up with. Now, as a foreigner, I've seen in Malindi, there are so many whites who are not happy about what happened to them. In Nairobi, there are other foreigners who have faced it rough. So what you do when you meet these Kenyan ladies, the first thing they'll do, they'll pretend they're good, but when you interact with them, become friends, after a few days, that's when they start asking for money. They'll start asking for small money, then you think these are not expensive. But with the time, their demands increase until you cannot afford them anymore. And that is when problems start. Let me tell you one thing that happened to one of the men in Nairobi. He was in a pub drinking with other men. So they spotted three ladies and they actually called them to their table. So as they were drinking, one of the men picked one lady and they went to a room. They spent there, and since the man is married, he did not want to just sleep there outside his home. So he went home and left the lady there in the Airbnb. The problem is he did not pay for that Airbnb. He went home and switched off the phone. In the morning, he found several messages after switching on the phone. The lady was asking for money to pay that Airbnb, and she was also asking 20,000 shillings, Kenyan shillings, payment for those services that he was offered. The man was annoyed because he thought she would ask maybe 2,000 or 1,000. They argued until the man blocked the lady. He did not even pay for that Airbnb. After a few days, while he was at home, he got someone knocking the door. After opening, he found there were police officers on the door. They explained to him what they came to do. They handcuffed him. They took him to the police cell. So that's where he learned that the lady went to hospital and it was written, a report was written that she was raped by the man. So it was a rape case. So this man was told by the police, and the lady was told him, if you want me to not to take the case to court, you have to pay 1.2 million shillings. This man was shocked. He ended up negotiating and he paid 1 million shillings instead of 1.2 million. He did not want even the wife to know that he had slept with a lady. So those are some of the cases that happen in Nairobi. You can be trapped without even knowing. And this is what Nick went through. Now, Nick is one of those men in the corporate world, career men, who don't interact with other men outside here. You know, there are men who are street smart. They are faced with those challenges. They can advise you. So if you are a man in the corporate world, sometimes talk to others what you are facing. There are people who have faced the same and they're now okay. They have the solution. And that is not something that can make you end your life. Because if it's your wife, even if you divorce, you will cry for some days and then you get well, life will continue. And you may find that even if the wife knew, you could not even divorce. There are women who can tolerate such things. So that is what happened, and it's a Nigerian, and it's a sad story, and it's someone who was at the peak in his career, and now the lady has got that pregnancy. She was given 8 million Kenya shillings. She was demanding for more, but she was not offered that money. Now Kenyans are blaming her for everything that happened, but we cannot entirely blame her because as a man, you must know how to maneuver in such situations and come out of them. So that's what simply happened.